Hi everybody!
Hi guys, so finally Jessica is here and she's gonna show us how to do some pies for Thanksgiving. Are you ready? Yeah, so yes, there we go. We're making the pie crust. We want to put the flour and then add the salt to it. We mix it up real quick with our hands. And then with our very cold butter, we want to cut them in squares. Remember that we need to incorporate the butter into the mix of flour and salt and make it look like sand. But we want to attain the little bitty tiny pieces of the butter on it so it will be a flaky crust. So now that we deal with our hands, there are not lumps, very big lumps. Then we started by adding 1 cup of our cold water and just work it out pretty smoothly and quick and try to incorporate it. We want sandy yet wet but dry consistency, a little bit more wet than sand. And then we add little by little the rest of the water. Usually it takes about 2 cups of water. So we just keep on working it with our hands till it stick in our hands and we have the dry but wet consistency. Oh my God, I cannot believe that the pie queen is here with us.
Welcome here, Jessica. We are so happy that you're here with us and you're sharing this beautiful recipe that I'm sure that we're going to learn a lot.
Okay, so we're going to start by flouring our area. You don't want to overwork your dough. You don't want to mush your butter. You just don't want to overdo it. I take about a softball size piece of dough and I start with the floured surface, kind of press it down.
So share the dough. Share the dough.
You use like very cold butter, right?
Yeah, you use very cold butter and cold water. Yes.
Butter. It has to be butter.
Yes, it has to be butter. So this is how I start it, guys.
Okay.
I start it in a ball. I then push it down like a frisbee. And so we're getting our dough shape like this. Okay? So you want to make sure you don't have sides that are sticking up because when we roll it out, we don't want it to go everywhere. So we have a nice floured surface on the bottom.
Contain the dough.
Contain it.
And did you make any pies on the show?
On the show, I did.
Which one did you make?
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so we keep the
have
dough.
the bottom, fully floured from our table, and then I flour the top also.
Yes.
All right?
Perfect. So
Okay,
let's
got
roll.
all set? Okay, let's roll.
And
I start a couple, and then I turn it.
Oh, look at all those butter in there.
Yes, you'll see
Wow.
large chunks of butter throughout the
Yeah,
dough,
it's
which is going to keep
amazing.
it nice and flaky. So we're going to roll it out a little bit larger than we have it. Yeah, and if it's sticking, don't, feel free to use a little more.
As round as
That's okay. That's okay too because when we put it in our pans,
What I like about this crust is that it's very manageable.
yeah.
And then actually you can see the butter in there.
Yes, and
So,
I like it
oh
because
my
it's not
God,
so
it's gonna be
fragile.
amazing.
So then I will show you how I put it in my pan real quick. I pick it up and I put it in.
Oh, it is amazing. Do you see how it turned from very crumbly to something that you can actually work for? I like this dough. But look, wow, this is amazing.
So we're gonna leave it like this, okay? Okay, so it's already
Wow.
ready for the berries. So we're gonna put
Very,
this aside,
very good.
and we are going to mix our berry mix for our pie. So we have
Perfect.
a beautiful crust, and now we have.
Do you refrigerate this or no?
I don't. You definitely can. You can
Okay.
freeze it. You can refrigerate it, or you can just have it ready, set, go.
Yes.
Perfect.
I'm not really finicky with my dough, and I've never had a problem with it. It turns out perfect. I think this is a really good universal recipe to use right
It's
away.
amazing,
Yeah.
believe me. I was afraid of working with pie dough, and this one is perfect.
So we're ready for fruit, guys. So
Okay.
let's grab our fruit and our mise en place, which
Okay.
is everything in its place. And that's something bakers use, huh? Mise en place.
Okay.
Okay.
So then-
we have 6 cups of fruit, 1
And you
cup of
can mix
sugar.
like any food that you want.
Yes, I use the same base with my spices, like cinnamon, my sugar ratio, and my cornstarch and tapioca, my starches. I use the same for every berry pie that I make.
Did you
And
hear
it
that?
makes it
Tapioca.
Tapioca.
Tapioca. And why do you use tapioca?
I use tapioca because I think if you use all cornstarch, it's going to gum up your pie too much. It's going to be very stiff and gelatinous.
Yes.
And tapioca rounds it out and gives it kind of a better fruit feel, and it doesn't overstarch it, so it's not just one solid piece of fruit pie.
That's a
Perfect.
great tip because in some recipes also they put like flour, and I think it gives it like a doughy.
Starchy, yes.
Okay, and remember that if you have any questions or if you have any comments, just send it over to the story and we will answer those later on. Now what we do, Jess?
All right, so I like to add the sugar first.
Okay.
Yep, and how Nacho and Susana are doing, I kind of like to pour it all over, mix it around a little with our hands, just to give it a
Okay,
nice
so
even little
first-
bit of a coat. Yeah,
Okay,
Okay,
butter.
so we have the fruit with the
Yep,
with the sugar
in
is
it.
kind of coated.
I would add the starches now, your tapioca and your cornstarch, and just kind of give it an all over. For one pie, I use 2 tablespoons of each tapioca and cornstarch.
Okay, so it's 1-on-1 ratio, right?
Yep, go.
Perfect.
And then I go ahead and mix it around a little bit more.
Perfect.
And we use cinnamon because I think it has a better flavor than nutmeg or any other spice.
I find that cinnamon kind of enhances the flavor of the fruit,
Yeah.
so I really like that spice. I can smell Thanksgiving already.
Like a holiday flavor, holiday snack.
Yes.
I can smell Thanksgiving.
That's
And Jess
it.
had already done this, so she has her thing over here. Okay, so
Yep. So I have my bowl of fruit here, pre-mixed and ready to go.
perfect. I cannot believe that I made a pie shell this beautiful. Believe me, this is the first time for me. I never roll. I mean, never roll dough. I roll.
Sometimes he uses like the parchment paper, you know, to
Yeah.
because the doughs are really fragile.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
you have
This dough is
And here in San
amazing.
Antonio, as you can see, the weather is
It's
super hot.
It is
Yes.
hot here,
To
y'all.
the- yeah.
It is hot and sticky. Everything
Yeah.
sticks to you.
I
in San
love this
Antonio.
pie crust. I love it.
Now we just fill it with fruit.
The
yeah,
whole
it's-
6 cups, right?
Yeah. These pans might be a little more shallow than mine, so let's just fill it until it's
Until it's nice
evenly
and-
rounded on top, but nice. Make sure you get it well incorporated on the bottom. You don't want
Okay.
to have holes, 'cause, you know, that would
Okay,
just
so
be
like
your-
kind of press it in the bottom.
It does, and that's the thing about fruit you want to remember is fruit
I
does
just want to
shrink
bite
down.
it like that.
And you were saying that you can also make like individual pies or
Yes, pie is so versatile.
Oh my
So,
god.
that'll be
Okay,
fun.
and we have plenty of dough as well.
Okay, so look
we'll
how
get rid of
beautiful
that.
this looks, guys. Perfect. But what I'm saying is, you want your pie to be
Like a mountain.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be this high. It could be this high, right? Because fruit
Okay.
is gonna cook down for sure. When they're done baking, you'll see what I mean. You'll want them over the top, otherwise you'll have a sunken in pie.
Yeah,
You
we don't want that.
Yeah, and you know it's not appealing
Okay.
looking. So we're now gonna make
Happy.
our top crust. So we're not gonna grab as big a size as we did for that bottom piece, but like
Piece of-
maybe baseball size. Okay. So you can
Okay.
see what it's like, and you just kind of get it together. And you remember how we did it before.
yes.
Purple, so I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit
That's
because
okay,
my
because
pie
it's
crust
be
is
a
gonna
beautiful
be
purple
beautiful.
pie crust. And then we'll put the recipes up at the end so everybody can join along and make their own pie and maybe even tag us in it because that would be fun,
Oh yes,
right? Making from
that
home.
would be awesome.
You know, I find it that a lot of people love to see like you were two both on the show.
Yeah.
And like they always wonder what happened next and what are they doing now.
Yeah, do they even like each other?
Yes.
We do.
But I bet like my season was really fun,
Mhm.
but I saw that your season was like all of you got like along really well.
It gives me
and-
goosebumps to even talk about it. It was such a great experience, and I feel like I made friends for life.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
you
I
did.
feel really lucky to have all these people in my life. Everybody's just so helpful and kind, and it's just an amazing community.
Yeah, we have our little support bakers group. That whoever has a question, ask the other one, and then we answer. Oh, I have done it like this. I have done it like that. It's honestly a panel of experts. I love it.
It's
Okay.
perfect. So a couple things I want to say before we top our pie. is one, we can cut shapes into our pie crust because that's really trendy right now, is making different kinds of pie tops. And so we can do that. If we don't cut holes into it or shapes into it, we definitely want to vent it so that the fruit can steam. Otherwise, it's going to be a soggy mess inside. It definitely needs to vent.
Perfect.
Okay,
So then what we're going to do with the little butter that we have on our mixing plate?
So we are going to, dot the pie with butter. Okay? So we're taking some butter and we're just going to put it around here and there. I'm ready to top my pie.
I'm ready.
So I'm just going to toss it over just like that. Okay, so to crimp our pie edges, none of us have a terrible hangover. You might need to trim some of yours down.
Okay.
But I like it to stick out not too far from the edge here to begin with. So we're starting off really well here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm rolling the top and bottom crust pieces together. Just a general rule of thumb, you kind of want it to touch right around the edge of the pan. So yours is perfect, yours is perfect. So now we have this beautiful edge to work with. I use my fingers. I do this, I make an H with my finger. I use that and I use those as borders. And I use this part of my index finger, or my pointer finger, and I just press out. And I keep going, and I use the last divot of the last hole. This part.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Look at
So
that.
proud, yes.
Guys, both of you, perfect. So look at that. Congratulations, you made your first pie.
Susana is all clean and nice, and then Nacho's all messy and rustic.
We're
Okay?
gonna want to vent this bad boy.
So how do we cut it?
We are going to vent our pie. There's several ways you can do it. You can make your own design. I typically like to cut a nice cross in the top of mine because it gives me a nice little starting point. And then I like to do a fun design. You can do your own. I make a little leaf shape. Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
How many cuts can you make?
As many as you want to.
The other day I was watching this very creative guy who makes pies, and he was making them like for Halloween.
I'm so happy with my pie. Look at it. It's going to look amazing.
And the very last thing is when you bake your pie, I just brush milk on the top and I pour sugar all over it. A sanding sugar or the crystallized sugars. You can use demerara sugar. You can use sugar in the raw, or you can use regular old sugar, granulated sugar. Don't use brown sugar because that'll create a crusty top and you don't want that. Pop it in the oven at 375 and bake until it has a slow bubble and you have pie.
Perfect. That is amazing, yes.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I finally was able to do a pie on my own. This is beautiful for me. Usually the pies are made by Susana and employees here. I never had mastered the pie making part, but I mean, this is so easy and it looks so good and it smells so good. So remember, if you have any question, send it over to the story. We will answer it as the nights goes by, and later on we will have our video or whatever that we made today.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you for
Yay!
coming and thank you for sharing this wonderful recipe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And remember, if you're in the Seattle area, she's always over there.
The pie wagon.
Yeah, she has a pie wagon, so you better check it out to see where she goes. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.